Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome to the new update for Surviving the Aftermath. This update is huge and is going to change the game in many ways. Now, it's very much like Frostpunk in a way, where we'll have to then provide winter clothing for our people. We'll also have to provide them with heat and, of course, worry about what types of homes we are building in order to survive the winters. Here's the overall changelog. We're going to go in somewhat blind because I'm not even sure if this is just a general disaster in the game or if it's a big event that we have to build up to. So if you're already excited and want to see more of this and many other survival city builders, make sure you go ahead and click, tap, blow up, and destroy that like button, and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on more episodes. And of course, join our Discord and follow me on Twitter for free game giveaways from, well, time to time. And of course, extra perks for our members. Look at all these updates that have come out for Surviving the Aftermath since the very beginning. Over 12 different updates for this game. That is impressive. All right. We'll start a new game here today, and then we will go ahead and jump into our glorious city of Raptoria. Now, we're going to start on easy, basically putting everything just on the easiest, format, because we want to see what's new in this game as quickly as possible, so it means we won't have to wait until episode 41 in order to get started here. So we'll pick our specialists, and then we'll start building our glorious city of Raptoria yet again. This is going to be quite impressive. I'm really excited to see what's new here in this game, and I, of course, am probably going to go with our usual Raptoria logo. There we go, of course. Now, let's go ahead and start with Raptoria, and our colony motto will probably be just fine here. There we go. All right, let's jump in to Surviving the Aftermath. Beautiful. I still can't get over the loading screen in this game. It's really nice hand-drawn art. In fact, all the scenes like this are somewhat hand-drawn, especially with the overworld update, where there's now many quests to go on that help you to get more supplies and discover new areas and get more technology. And, of course, the world has also changed for how the specialists move, too. And it's different how they actually have to go to a location and stay there for a little bit of time, a few days, to gather supplies rather than just moving in, grabbing things, and then moving back on the next turn. So that will change things. All right, here's our specialist to start with, and here's our glorious city. There's the gate down there again. Let's go ahead and get started then. All right, all of our supplies, great. Everything seems the same as before. Now, this is a kind of a previous update where we then have to build our new home by building the campsite. As you can see here, we have to find a habitable land. All right, let's go ahead and get started. There's pollution there on the right side. That's a little concerning, but everything else around us is looking pretty good. So let's do a little exploring, and then we'll have to basically find out where it would be good to build our campsite. I think down by the gate would probably be a good plan, so we'll start that somewhere near the road just to kind of get it out of the way. Now, our people, we can tell them exactly what to build, too. They can actually build structures in the city other than homes, so we can start with a water well if we want to, and we can also start gathering some, there's some food down here, majestic deer. Okay, we'll go ahead and have our friend here. I think he's using a crossbow. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and start construction on some emergency shelters so we can have our people move in as soon as they get here. They'll have some places to actually seek refuge. And we'll have to worry about this now. When we're building these emergency tents, this is the only thing we can build so far. But we will have to keep them warm somehow, so we'll have to discover the new technologies of keeping warm, like in Frostpunk, for example. Now, we don't have a large, thing to keep warm around, so it might come down to building campfires nearby or creating some sort of heating source, like, for example, maybe steam heating or electric heating, or possibly, of course, lots and lots of firewood. All right, food storage will go down. We'll put that down and start getting started with that. Now, again, our city is going to be designed just to try to quickly accommodate as many people as possible so we can see what is new in the update. And I'm really excited to see when winter is a-coming, boys. So we're going to have to worry about that. All right, the tent there is being built. Whoa, our boy almost dying from these deer. Oh, I didn't realize that a whole community of deer almost killed our scientist. That would have been bad. Well, luckily he's got plenty of meat now, so let's gather that and bring it back. We have 120 food, so that's plenty to start with, but it's always a good idea to have more. All right, coming back to build some more stuff. Looks like the stockpile is done, the camp site is done, and also the emergency tents are getting up and running here shortly. Now, one thing we need to do is store fresh water as quickly as possible. I'm always nervous about a few things that can drain a lot of water is the heat wave or the drought, and also I believe the pandemic and a few other things might drain a lot of water. So if we have an abundance of production and if we store clean water in the clean water storage, then we'll be able to... Oh, that's new. The burner. That's exactly what we're looking for then. This must... Yep, it takes 5 firewood per day to keep that thing running. So its consumption is 5 firewood. Interesting. So that's one of the first things that we see for the nuclear winter update. We'll put some outhouses down first, and then we'll get on to building that burnable thing. As soon as we have the ability to produce firewood, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Yeah, outhouse can go here. That's a fine location for it. There we go. And let's go ahead and try to get our people moving around here as quickly as possible to build a medical tent. That's, of course, a day one thing that you want, too. I would say before you even open your colony, it's a good idea to have your medical tent ready and also a few homes. Medical tent is just, like, absolutely critical. And, of course, since our little scientist here is wounded, we can get him back to operational health very soon. We don't want him to end up in the burial pit. There we go. This is a good spot here. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and try to look for some new stuff. Maybe we could build the gate, but more emergency shelters would be good. I think when we start, it's maybe 12 people, and not all of them can work. Some of them are children and some are elders. We also have the trapper. We're going to have to put that down shortly, and the scrapper and recycler. Those will be two to start with as well. They'll gather, yep, metal and plastic around here somewhere. Oh, I saw it down there. Okay. So let's see what else is around. Looks like we got to gather some wood there. And there's our plastic surplus. Alright, I think we'll put these 2 buildings in the north, but we'll do that later. We'll build those at the top of the road. And we'll get all of our specialists working on construction. Right now we're going slow. Look at this. It's not even been 1 day, and our people have already built a campsite, a stockpile, and a few tents are already going up. And it looks like we've got some decorations here to put down, too. And we can put that out in front of the houses whenever we have some extra space. Oh, yeah, they're busy working, that's for sure. All right, getting towards the end of the first day. Sun is almost going down. Let's set our work area for gathering food from the food storage. Very good. And let's go ahead and also have our well constructed too. Just trying to think of the chess move-like beginnings of this game. We, of course, want outhouses for contaminations to be stored alongside. And I think it is time that we invite our colonists now. Very good. The flare is up, and glory to Raptoria. One thing I want to see is whenever there's a disaster in this game, like, for example, a heat wave or meteorite striking or a pandemic, I want to see something on the world map. I don't know if they've implemented that yet in the patch notes, because there's quite a bit, but it'll be interesting to see if they've done that in this game so far. All right, the inhabitants are here. Fantastic, and glory to Raptoria. Very good. All right, everyone's here without a home, it seems. Or, well, most people are without a home. We just need to quickly construct that one, and they can have a nice tent for the night. All right. Another well would be good. We're at negative 12. Mostly because they didn't build that first one. So we'll have a little bit of a water problem, but we shouldn't, it shouldn't be too bad. We'll build a second one, probably over here. Trying to keep it as close to 100% as possible, though sometimes it's hard to get exactly 100. And we'll complete... Oh, the stockpile is yet to be built. There we go. So that'll go down, and then we'll start delivering supplies to the gate so our specialists can then leave and start exploring the world and bringing back tons of supplies. Man, I am so excited. Winter is coming. Man, this is going to be awesome. If you haven't said hello down below in the comments section yet, make sure you do. Come say hi. Don't be afraid now, as we have a wonderful community here, just like we have a wonderful community in the game. So welcome to everybody. And thank you again for all of your Big O support. This is awesome. I'm really excited to see when nuclear winter will be here. It's going to be tough to survive, so it will be some time, but of course, just like in Frostpunk, it's all about getting ready for the big storm. So when it hits us here, it's going to be the same thing. All right, clean water storage, let's put that down, and let's see, Specialist, you should be ready to go out soon. Let's go have her guard the gate just in case trouble shows up, I don't know. And let's see, what else can we do with you guys? Maybe we should get her to gather something instead. Yeah, let's go grab materials, I guess. We have 61 wood, 45 concrete, and 25 plastic. All the things at top are very important for building buildings and or building components for those buildings sometimes. All right, let's put down the gate. The gate will be constructed on the glorious morning of day 1. Still says day 0, but 24 hours hasn't passed since we got here. And let's go ahead and put down mining sites here for food and also, yeah, lots of berry bushes. So let's get berries, and we'll also try to move that stockpile around so we can gather more supplies. Off to a very good start. Water is still going to be a major concern, so the wells will have to be built. We'll probably put those on high priority. Let's take a look at what's new in the research. We will have to see if there's anything new in relation to the winter storms now, in terms of like heating or radiators or some sort of a structure that we can build to produce heat. Maybe the sauna, for example, is a thing that can provide heat for our people too. It's already in the game, so I'd like to see how they implemented that so far. Oh. There we go. Well, that's definitely going to be new. All right, we got ourselves powered heaters. Interesting. So that's definitely something we're looking for an update in the game. Also controlled burn, but I don't know if that's new either. And let's see. Roof supports other things to make the homes more durable, but does that make them more heat efficient? Like insulation, is that something we can put in to make them possibly contain heat more and upgrade the quality of the homes during the winter storms? We'll have to see. I'm excited to find out exactly how things work, so we'll be ready for anything as we prepare, both in research and also in building construction. Now, we'll have to get research points before we start any research, so getting that gate up and running will be our top priority. As soon as they complete that, we'll send people out, and let's set our water wells to be high priority. Looks like almost all the construction materials have been delivered to the second one we built. And the first one's being constructed now. Okay. So our water shortage should be solved very shortly. It'll be a short water shortage. And that's great. Yeah, that pollution's got to go. We'll have to build an environmental station to get rid of that. It's in a really good area for farming and for more home building since we kind of settled near the gate. It's usually easier to settle near the gate because if, you know, you're, what do you call them? The specialists. Yes, of course. Our lovely specialists. If they come back from the world map and need to be healed, they don't have to walk too far. And, of course, it's easier to... Well, it's kind of hard to build away from the gate when you don't explore a little further than that. We'll also have to find a clean source of water, so that way we could probably get water carriers. I haven't seen a lake yet, but we will have to then maybe start fishing, too. All right, it's going to be soon that we start thinking about food, other than just sending out gatherers. We're going to have to do probably trapping in the same forest in which we built our first well. And our second well might be a good area to cut down trees for logging and making firewood soon. So in the game there's two types of woods. Planks, wooden planks are important for building homes. And then of course, there we go, the gate is complete. Wonderful. Alright, well let's send our people out. But the other type of wood, as I mentioned, is firewood, which we can then use on the burners or the cookhouse to create food and make food even more longer lasting, more durable by mixing vegetables and things together. Our first survivors are here with our first scavenger, a first person who wants to come in here. Fantastic. All right, well, let's accept that. Come on in. Welcome to Raptoria. Good to see you all here. And send our people out to the world map. Our scouts, our scavengers, our specialists. Looks like there's research nearby, so we'll have our scientist work on that right away. And as you can see, he's gathering the research now. It'll take a few days to do, so now we have to kind of let everybody sit there to gather everything before they can move back. We can move them off the spot if we want to early, but then we don't get all the resources. But we can always come back too, so we can take half the resources and then come back later if we need to. Alright, we'll grab all the other stuff nearby, and we'll probably send everybody home soon, since they're literally right next to the camp. Good. Ah, yes, we have Wheeler to send over here too, and we'll go scout out a new area as soon as possible. Very cool. Alright, so now we got 4 specialists out in the world. That's a great start. Water is starting to be resolved. We'll then be able to store more water too in those large tanks, and that will, we'll probably end up building more of those actually and try to fill those up, so that way if a pandemic or a drought hits, we won't really have to worry about it. We always want to have a surplus of water, and the small surplus can go towards... Oh, look at that. That's really cool. They're actually welding some of the parts and things. That's interesting. So he's like trying to get into like a lockbox or something like that. That's really neat. They kind of animate that. Scientist is trying to research. Cool. All right. Well, this is looking good. Now, when winter hits, I believe the map also changes too. So we'll see ourselves some snow on the ground. And we have ourselves our first set of, I think, bandits over there too. We'll continue to grab all the basic construction materials that we need. Things like concrete, planks, anything else. Survival skills. Let's go with the basic crowbars. Yeah, let's gather materials faster now that we got our first set of research. And we'll try to keep on that as much as possible. One of my flaws in this game is I'm awfully forgetful of research, of always trying to activate more research in this game. And also another thing is to, I'm pretty good with the specialist, but the other thing is making sure all the buildings are like assigned of full workers after I finish that research. Some buildings can have additional workers added to them, like the trapper that we're putting down now can have eventually, I think, up to 3 workers. And that's very helpful. A lot of buildings can be upgraded to have more workers. And, of course, it's always a good idea to make sure you've put the right number in there. Let's start building some roads. We got our city looking real good now. So let's connect everything up here. Gotta remember the road system. We'll connect the gate to the tents and everything else. As we add to our city, we'll probably come back and do roads periodically. Oh, good. They're already starting to build. Now, we'll need tools shortly, too, but that's something that can come later. We usually can find tools out in the world fairly easily. Okay. I think we'll leave some spaces between the road and the tents, so that way we can add decorations to them. There's a few extra spaces. And that's one thing I never do. I never leave enough space for all these cool decorations in the game. And that can actually affect your people's mood. So let's leave a little extra space and let them kind of have some room for decoration. Maybe we'll put down a statue by the entrance, or maybe some lights and things around. And that'll make things look really nice. Okay, that's fairly well connected. Let's speed up some time here and get cracking. Already day 2 for our people. Alright, deposit has been depleted. A lot of materials are being diminished to nothing as we start to build our camp. A lot of wood and concrete being put towards building our homes. We're out of plastic, so we'll have to start building those scrappers now. We'll have to build our scrapper and our recycler shortly. And it looks like they've gathered 35 resources in one day. So that's really cool. Scavengers can probably carry more faster than people who are just scouts or scientists, for example. So 61 plastic and a little bit of money, too. So we'll bring all that stuff back to camp. Except for the scientist who... Science is immediately delivered to the camp, so we'll go north. Okay. Oh, wait. We'll need to worry about Wheeler. Let's see. Oh, yes. Back to the plastic site. Or do we go for oil? Nah, let's go for plastic. Alright, that'll be good. Alright, back to researching crowbars. Almost done. So we'll have to kick up some next research in just a moment. And we'll have to store some of these things, but we'll build storage a little bit later. Our recycler and scrapper are going to be needed now. So that's a great time to research something else. So let's do Scavenger Teams. That adds work slots to those 2 that I just mentioned. Or producing more metal at the scrapper. Both of those are pretty good. We'll start there. Both will need to be done eventually. But since we don't have as many employees, we'll start there. Alright, so those are under this option. There we go. So we'll put down our scrapper. Scrapper next to the trapper. And next to the... scavengers sites too. Oh yeah, let's set up the trapper as well. Let's see. Here should be a good start. Alright, so the recycler and the scrapper will be built. And it looks like we have a guest. Wandering merchant. Oh, that's a good trade, I think. Planks for... yeah, that's probably a good call. Some parts. Alright, let's go scout in the north. We gotta go find this winter, baby. We're gonna find winter before it finds us. More parts here, great for building electrical components. And it looks like Wheeler's still working, so we can leave him here. Obviously, that's what it, that crowbar kind of shows that they're gathering materials. We do need to send our other people back out, don't we? So let's send them back out to the world. So it's these two here. So let's get you two back out to the world map and go explore for Raptoria. Fantastic. Glory to Raptoria. I'm very excited to see exactly what's going to wait for us next. Now, with it being a nuclear winter, that means winter could come at any time. So perhaps maybe the winter will be coming in a few months or a few days. It could be more, well, it's obviously going to be much more aggressive than a standard winter. And it's going to start like a normal winter and then get far, far worse. So we might be able to detect it like a disaster in this game, like the pandemics or the nuclear fallout that hits. And typically that's something that hits me a lot in this game is nuclear fallout. Let's assign some more scavenger teams here. And we'll get the other building constructed. We'll go pick a resource and have this person immediately start gathering from the site. Okay. More scavengers ready to go. And it looks like we've discovered tools. All right, that's good. Gives us a nice boost. 45 plastic, good. And let's continue to explore. Eventually, it's going to be a good idea to go much further away from the camp. I believe there are going to be cars, but I don't know if there's going to be snowmobiles and stuff. It would be kind of cool if in the winter we had to get through maybe with snowcats or snowmobiles, or maybe like a modified car to have tracks or something like that. It'd be really cool if we could modify our vehicles for winter. All right, now that water's coming in quickly, we're going to build some more clean water storage. I don't want anything to affect us for that drought. Or a drought. Or the drought. Or the biggest, you know, maybe there's going to be a big, big drought. And winter, perhaps we might consume a lot of water too. Because perhaps the snow might be toxic or contaminated. So maybe we have to use clean drinking water times 2 or something. There might be a reason for it. So it's always good to have more. Let's adjust the trapper a little bit to get a higher percentage. Up to 90-something% there. And we still need to get that contamination out of the way, but we'll work on that soon. Alright, Wheeler. You're almost done on your next job. Okay, everybody's working. Good. Let's set you to gather some tools over here. And let's see what else. Oh, good. We figured it out. Good job, Hannah. Fantastic to hear. Alright, survival skills. Let's go with that. And let's see, we've got our medical tent down, so we're ready for any sort of medical emergency. Happiness is holding well. The tents usually are the ones that affect happiness most, so we'll have to worry about that. Oh boy, we should probably build some more of those too. We'll have to build another tent shortly. Our capacity is going to need to be increased to accept more survivors. So another emergency shelter would be good. And I'm going to keep these buildings close together because if we go to heat them with that burner, it probably would be a good idea to have them somewhat close. Oh, let's move this back, though, so we can put decorations around it and keep it pretty. There we go. Wait. Yeah, that's fine. Good. Very good. Back to our specialists. Let's go. More materials coming in. More scouts going out. Ah, more research. Let's send the scientist over there right away. And we're looking pretty good. Jerky nearby. So we got food, basic building materials, everything that we want. It's a very good start for us. Uh-oh. I heard somebody koofing. Okay. So now let's assign another person to the recycler and get that plastic going. Great. Okay. So plastic is at 0, so we'll need that recycler to do some work as soon as possible. And we also need to make sure these water tanks are filled up. We should have, what is that? Oh yeah, 2,700 storage for water. Oh, we have a new resource expedition. Let's focus on construction materials, I think. We could do high-end resources, but I think we want to focus on basic construction. Food is looking good, so... Wow, look at that image in the background. That's really cool. I like the art style. Oh, the iguanas there. Very cool. I love that. The cars in the background chasing. Very nice. All right, construction materials it is. So wood and concrete are being gathered then, as well as metals, so we can build some of our homes faster. And let's move. Scientists closer to the research site, what looks to be a museum. And our lovely lady friend there going towards the plastic supply. Ah, there's where those resources are. Fantastic. We'll wait, there could be more than one, though. Is Wheeler nearby any? No? Oh, wait, yes, there's some in the north. Okay. So we'll have Wheeler go there next. Okay, what are we looking for? Oh, yes, let's put down that burner. Yes, let's keep that very close to our camp. And that's going to be in a good spot, I think, to keep all the tents warm. Could move it a little bit south, but I think that's a fine spot to get started. And then eventually we'll build more homes around it. And every time we build houses, they're going to have to be near the burners now, just in case. So the logging camp is what we're looking for to make firewood to keep that thing fueled up. Now, that nuclear winter could be coming any moment, so we need to be very cautious about that. And we need to be ready for anything. So we'll build our logging camps down here, which means our logging camp, our lumber yard, and our foresters, so that way they can regrow trees and such down here in the corner. Might cost us a few trees to build it, but I think we could regrow trees down in that corner, and it'll be a good little work area out of the way. Back to our specialist again. Wheeler's ready to move, it looks like. So let's send you north. All right, let's grab that materials. 30 concrete bricks. That'll have to be delivered back to the camp, too, it looks like. It goes into their inventory, not immediately back to the camp. So it works the same as scavenging. Quest works the same. Plastic, wonderful. And what is next? Wow, look at that camp. That is really growing. We are only 6 days in, a week in, and we've got 17 people in the camp, 4 of which who are kind of like working as transporters right now, which is great. Ah, and a heat wave. Great. Well, we've prepared for this. We've got our extra wells down, and we're storing everything. Crop yields would suffer, but luckily we're not growing anything. I forgot all about research, too. I told you that's my flaw, so we'll have to move on to some other research. Let's do crops. As soon as that research is done, the heat wave should pass, and we can start growing our own food. We start with, I believe, potatoes and corn. So potatoes and corn plus meat plus the other things that we found out in the wild. Things like jerky and whatever else will go great for transporting all of our... or actually, anything else we transport in from out of the world, like energy bars or jerky, that'll go good to our coffers, our food coffers. Okay, what are we doing next? Let's see. Man, let's grab that jerky, speaking of which. Then let's go back to the town, and I guess it'd be a good idea to keep building some more wells, I suppose. I think we're okay on water. Consumption will double. So I think we should build another well regardless. More people could come to the camp just before the drought or during it. Alright, down the river, go and try. We brought back some fish. Good, another side quest completed. Let's take a look at water. Storage is at 2,700. We're at 568. So all extra water is going into storage. And I believe the heat wave will last for about 3 days too. So we've got a little bit of time to prepare and a little bit of time that needs to pass before we're ready. Okay. Let's go cut down some trees. Wow, this is awesome. Okay. Back to the specialist. Whoa, more resources. Go. Yes, very good. Yeah, get him. Okay, we're going to clear that out as soon as possible. Fighting with our bandits now. More research gathered. And let's continue to push north. And, we got to look around here as soon as possible to find more of the map. But we'll take our time. Okay, more roads to be added. Connecting our community back to the main gate. Very important. Okay, burner there. Yep, that looks like it consumes 5 firewood per day. I wonder if that'll increase based on how many homes are around it. We'll have to see. Oh boy, it begins. The first disaster in our camp. A heat wave. Have we prepared enough? Well, there's already a water shortage according to the game, but that's because we're in the negative. But we have a lot in storage. That's exactly why we built that clean water storage. So let's see what happens. I don't know if people get heat stroke here either, but let's take a look and get... oh, yes, we got them. Okay, we got to grab that rest of the materials, the construction stuff, come back to camp. All right. 60 metal, and it looks like some tools, too. Oh, and that camp disappears. Okay, another bandit camp to our southeast. And I think we can move our people to... Yeah, medical supplies probably going to be good. I don't know if we're going to have medical emergencies, so we'll see. She's working. He's going northeast then. Oh, actually... Oh, nope. Science. Yep. Alright, back to the camp. Alright, very cool. Oh, a group of people are at the gate. Ah, exactly. 1 adult and 1 child. Oh, and actually a new fighter, too. Yeah, welcome. Alright, so somebody's mutating. Good opportunity to turn on the medical tent. Fantastic. And she is ready to go out to the world map. Alright, let's go find out where she is. Oh, that's cool. They actually made a graphical effect for whenever a disaster is hitting the camp. They listened to me. Well, I don't know about me, but that is really cool. Okay, so that means that if there's a meteorite striking the camp, that it's going to animate meteorites falling all over. If there's a pandemic, it'll be all around the camp. If the nuclear winter hits, the map's going to change. That's really cool. Before it was just kind of static and just showed where your camp was, but now we can see that there's a big heat wave going. Let's send her down maybe to deal with some bandits here soon enough, some raiders. And let's see what else we can build. We might need some new tents soon. It looks like we got a little bit of space between the two, maybe like 5 or 6 spots here, or more. Although, yeah, children do take up they occupy space too. Great thing about kids in the camp is that eventually they grow up and be a part of the labor force, so that's going to be a good thing. Water's still dropping. We're at 272, 262, so we're at -10. And I think we'll get that next. I think we'll build the last well just before the heat wave is complete. And once that ends, then of course all the extra water will go into storage. Probably a good idea to have a lot of extra water. Water will also be used by the cookhouse and a few other buildings and industries that require water. Clean water storage is for people to drink, as where the other water storage is for manufacturing purposes. Outhouse there needs to be decontaminated. Alright, Wheeler, go grab some medicine. And it looks like some oil's been gathered. Nice. And let's go do some more research. Or at least go do some more science gathering. Jerky, good. Jerky, tools, and plastic. That's what he has in his inventory. Let's scout some more. Ooh, a high-risk area over there for medicine. Well, we'll keep moving into this area. Looks like there's gasoline and planks. Alright. Wheeler's gathering. Alright, back to the camp. Things are looking gloom and doom. Are we going to make it? Of course we are. It'll be just fine. We've got 92 water left, but it should run out the moment that the drought is over, and then we refill our coffers with the extra... I call them coffers, but, you know, we fill our water storage once everything's good to go. Alright, let's see what else is going on. Alright, yeah, we got to get rid of that area of pollution. The well is looking good. So once the drought is over, our water production should go up close to 20, and that won't be a problem again. Specialists are ready for action. Let's go. At a certain point, there's so much to keep track of in this game as well. You're worried about your specialists, your city building, your quest running, your supplies, and then also other things that can happen at the gate. So there's quite a lot to manage in this game. If you've ever missed anything in this game, don't feel bad, because there's quite a lot to be worried about in terms of monitoring what's going on in the city and outside the city too. It's really one of those rare city builders where you're building a city, and it's not just to look pretty. You're actually managing supplies at the same time with an overworld map. But of course, that's the same as Frostpunk too. So this game is kind of taking a homage from that and looks quite good. All right, look at that. We've got +8 water now. The heat wave is over. Glory to Raptoria. We have survived. Give me those ones down below in that comment section. Give me a nice 1, because we are #1, and I will heart your comments too. Let's build another outhouse here up in the north. That'll be a good spot, I think. Good. All right, specialists are standing by, waiting for orders. We'll have to give them some. It looks like everybody's gathering. Ah, some more science. Fantastic. Science is getting closer to 1,000. Grab some wood there. Grab some medical stuff. That's a high-risk area, but we do need the medicine. It would be a good thing to have in storage. And let's go for... You know what? Having the communal eating would be a good idea. Yeah. So let's get the next thing there. We have to do that before we research the communal, like the cookhouse, basically. So we'll get that going. And time to do some farming. Like I said, now that the drought is cleared, I think a good spot for farms might be right about here in the north. We'll do ourselves some potatoes and some corn. And that'll be 2 new food sources for us. Small farms are good at the beginning. We don't really need anything too big. So long as we create it at the cookhouse, we'll be all right. So those will get constructed eventually. 1 farmer can take care of both of those. So we'll need some more people in the camp again. So hopefully more people show up soon. Or we can adjust some of the industries so we can focus on food. That'll be our next concern, though. At 218, we're pretty good to go. A lot of construction materials in storage minus planks. But we're gathering a lot of that stuff. It just takes a little bit of time to come back to camp. Looks like there's some components near our scientist. That's good. All right, research is complete again, but let's work on our farms here. Are they ready to go? No, we'll have to pick a crop after they're done being constructed. Oh, now we got to move our specialists again, though. We'll come back to research shortly. And let's check out what's up here. Ah, we got some medicine, some antibiotics, and also some iodine pills in the north. And look at that. It's actually winter. That is amazing. We've actually discovered the edge of the map. Winter could creep across it and threaten our very livelihoods. They could possibly crush our camp with the blanket of winter if we're not ready. Looks like a wandering merchant is here. We'll take a look at him here shortly. Ah, nothing to trade, but better luck next time. These deals are usually pretty okay. The only thing you really want to trade for is possibly electronic and any sort of components that are used to build... oh, look, a river. Neat. Anything to build the power generation, that's what you want to be focused on. All right, communal eating. Let's go with that, and then we'll build our cookhouse shortly. And there we go. Let's go ahead and have our friends here work on the farm for potatoes and corn. He's already working, so good job, my friend. And we'll get that second one up here shortly. Man, specialists are like crazy. They're just like gathering all sorts of materials. More oil gathered. Our specialists are also becoming wounded, so they will have to return to base at some point, which is inevitable. They'll have to deliver their stuff, so we'll begin that as soon as they are a little bit lower in health. But it's good to grab anything around the camp to start with. You never know what you'll need, and if it's close, you may as well grab it. Let's grab that fuel too, by the way. And back to the camp. All right, once the second field is ready to go, then we can go ahead and start growing corn. And so with corn and potatoes, things will be good. And let's see here. Water's at 19. That's great. The water supply is greatly increased and will not be a factor anymore until our population increases. So that's one less thing to worry about. Communal eating is being researched, so we can put that down shortly. And we'll need to get ourselves some more people adjusted around to do other things in the camp. Let's do corn. Man, winter is coming. I don't know where or when, but I'm feeling like we're almost ready for it. We've got an area to prepare logs to produce heat in the burner. We've got an area to gather those logs and turn them into firewood. We've got a good supply of food and water. So if it happens to creep up on us all of a sudden, then we wish, well, I'm hoping that we should be good to actually survive. In surviving the aftermath, yeah, that's the whole point of the game, so I bet we can do it. Excellent. Water's almost maxed out. We're getting there. Fantastic. Communal eating is researched, and it looks like a bandit is at the gate too. Ah, there's the view for cold. So that's one of the new features in the game as well. Hi there, Trader Bandit. I will trade you for components, sir. Or, yeah, components. Good. Alright, so now we got our components being delivered. Fantastic. And let's see what else we've got going on. Wow, the camp is really looking good, though. Alright, let's take another look at specialists to make sure they're doing what they need to. We'll move everyone around to grab more supplies, more science, and we'll go ahead and have them move wherever. It looks like they're all in good spots, so that's good. Oh, time to move again. Oh, good, they're finishing all their tasks. Great. Alright, time to head back to camp to heal up. We want everyone to return to base to deliver their materials as soon as they're done gathering. Unless the situation changes. Okay. Specialists are returning to camp, and they'll be healed up soon as we put somebody in the tent. Actually, I think they heal up on their own without needing to go to a tent. That's the whole point of your specialists. One of their perks is that they can heal themselves if they're at camp for a while. Though they might be able to visit the medical tent. We'll see. Alright, guys. Well, we're getting ready to wrap things up here for today. So, again, thank you very much for all of your support and for clicking and tapping that like button and subscribing to the channel. It's been awesome to have you here. Winter is coming. If you want to see more, you know what to do. And I will see you soon. Thanks as always for your support. Goodbye.